Who's this guy singing? Hey, this is Clay Nelson Life Balance Hour. And we're talking about the value of full and complete communication. So who was the guy singing?
Steve Winwood.
Steve Winwood. Man, he is communicating. Every time I hear that song, and I remember the video of the folks dancing down the line.
Oh,
wow,
yeah.
man, they're communicating with me, let me tell you.
I remember that.
No, it's
with
true.
Live.
No, and that's what, 10 years old, probably?
Yeah,
something
about
like
that.
Yeah, I mean, great guy, great guy. Now, I need to communicate something. Okay, you ready? Now, I've got some CD sets out, and I had 2 calls during the break, and the CD sets are, I'm surprised they're still asking what the name of the CD sets are.
I know.
I mean,
They should know
it's
it by now.
amazing, yeah. Okay, the CD names of the CD sets are Getting Started series, and in that one are 3 CD discs. One is Creating Your Purpose, second one is How to Let Fear Serve You, and third one is Commitment. I mean, without commitment, where are you going? What are you committed to? Second series is called the Taking Care of Me series. And boy, this is a powerful one. This is where life balance is discussed on one CD, personal planning, like how to have one, what its value is, and quite frankly, how to keep your batteries charged. And then the third disc in that set is the accountability disc. Like, you know, if you could have the great life you want, you'd have it if you could get there by yourself. But you can't. So you need to have someone, a team, a family member, a lover, whatever, all right, hold you accountable for you getting what you say you want. That's why we have accountability on that disc.
I was going to make a joke and say that you could dance to these, but in truth, you can dance to
You
these.
could dance to
You just
these.
dance.
You could dance to these. These things get you so happy when you listen to them, I'm told, that you can dance. And we were talking about people,
It's
you know,
an impressive feat.
tapping on their steering wheel as they're driving across Utah. You know what I mean? Now, the third series is called the Building Your Future series. And this one is designed to take you past fixing what's broken, to take you past purpose, to take you past, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? How am I going to pay the bills? It's called Becoming a Better Leader, disc number 1. And why do you need to become a better leader? I mean, that's where future is designed. It's how you learn to language yourself and how you learn to build a team. And then G, disc number 2 in the Building Your Future series is all about team building. Why do you need one? It's because you can't get to where you're going by yourself, so you got to build a team. And this is how to build a team. And then the last in the series is called Beyond Success. What's beyond what you know? And it's called your imagination. What would it be like to go back and be a child again and make up a future as a 50-year-old and absolutely dance your way into it?
Is that one pretty new?
That one is brand new.
Wow.
Okay, it's really cool. So you can order those either on the website, www.claydelsonlifebalance.com, and just go to the products page, right, Diego? Products page, and just go through it any way you want to. You can order it there, or you can just call 805-682-8712 and ask to talk to Susan or Clay or Elizabeth. Or you can just send an email to Clay or Susan at Clay Nelson Life Balance, or even Beth at Clay Nelson Life Balance. Although you better watch her; she's a little bit cranky sometimes. You know what I mean? Now,
But she won't be able. They won't be able to get that through her email though. You know, they won't be able to get her crankiness through the email though.
oh, that's true.
Because she's very sweet.
Although they can create it themselves, like you said about emails before.
But Beth, have you noticed how everybody just protects you? Susan just jumped right in this. Beth's fine. What do you mean? What are you talking about, cranky? All right. Now, so that's all the information, and thank you all for asking, and thanks for letting me take the time during the show to tell you that information, all right? So now, we were talking before we went on the break, you know, what are the costs of the lack of full and complete communication? And generally speaking, just about everything, from finances to love affairs, all right, to the time it takes to make up stuff that isn't true, to your loss of heart speak, to your, you know, getting to your depressed self, you know. Have you ever gone to a show and you're sitting there in the show and you're talking about something that you can't fix? You missed the show and you can't fix the problem because the person you need to communicate is not sitting next to you in the show? Or if they are, you can't talk to them because you're in a show. Whoa. Everybody's sitting here in the studio looking at me like, where is he going next?
I'm back on the theater thing, sitting in a show. You know.
All right, now, so.
And I went to like a builder show, you know.
Oh, a builder show.
'Cause,
That's
you
true.
know,
That's right.
Because
Like a
I'm
convention,
geared
yeah.
for that, given that he's speaking at builder shows. So.
Oh, I'm
anyway.
speaking. Oh, that's right, I do.
Yeah.
All right, now, so communication or the lack of it, all right, or miscommunication and the lack of responsibility for it, all right? Now, everybody hear that one? You know, our relationship isn't working, and we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, so we just stick it out, you know? Like you're in a relationship with somebody, and it's not working, and you're not saying why it's not working, and you're not willing to stand up for yourself, so you just kind of sit there and stick it out. And after a few weeks of that, it just sucks all the energy out of your being. So you have to communicate. You have to say, I'm hurting. I don't want to end the relationship, but we got to change the way it is. And then what happens if you get to a point in the relationship where you do communicate it and it's just not heard? What do? You have to check out far enough so you can survive it, and then just do what you got to do to move on in a direction that you someday can communicate and it can be heard, and heard well enough to where it sticks so there can be a resolve. All right, now, a relationship that isn't working comes on from lack of communication. Kids may be afraid to tell their parents about a problem they have at school, like being bullied. They don't want to tell their parents because they're afraid their parents are going to go to school and beat up the other kid or something, Or we've experienced this where you find your kids are having a problem with drugs or alcohol or cigarettes or saying they're going to be someplace and they're not. And you want to hold them accountable. You want to say something to them, but you don't want them to think that it's the end of their life if you do say something to them. So how do you communicate fully? Or we don't stop our bosses and ask them to repeat what they've said because we don't want to look bad to our boss. Have you ever had somebody that you're responsible to say something to you, you flat did not hear it, all right? And you're hoping you can figure it out later. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just unbelievable. Like right now, let me see. My producer is over here blowing his nose underneath the table because he doesn't want to make any noise. He wants to be responsible, so I'm going to communicate something to you.
Yes.
You have my permission to blow your nose anytime you want to. Yeah, all right, now. So how about this? We're in a hurry, and instead of making sure the team is 100% clear about what they need to do and, quite frankly, are required to do to get whatever the job is to get done on time or correctly or the amount or whatever, and we communicate what it is, but the team doesn't get it, and we don't fulfill on the team's promises. So who's responsible? So now, I've got to go on another break. When I get back, I'm going to go through this top 6 steps. Oh, I got 2 more minutes? Oh, well, never mind. I need to communicate that the break is not going to happen now. How am I doing?
Very nice.
All right,
nice.
good. Now, so there's 6 steps I want to talk to you about that are inclusive in having full and complete communication and being responsible for everything in it. So full and complete communication, step number 1. Stop and think about who you are being. Now, what's the difference between being and doing? A lot of times people do things, but they're being jerks while they're doing it. So what do people get?
I was going to, and you're talking about full and complete communication.
Why would you bring that up now? You look at me that way.
No,
is there some secret thing you want to tell me?
No.
This is my wife speaking, by the way.
Is because you can say whatever there is to say.
Yeah.
But if you're going to say something and you're going to be obnoxious about it or uncaring
or
like you said,
a
jerk or coming
loud
from the past or, whatever it is,
yeah.
that what you're saying may be a good thing, but how you're saying it
keeps people from hearing what you're saying.
They're all wrapped up in who you are.
That's a good one, honey. And about step number 3, we talk about filters, and that's what you're talking about.
Cool.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome.
Clay, actually, before we do head out to the break, because we have about a minute and a half here,
okay.
I got an email in here from Mark who says, I get the value of full and complete communication. After all, I've been listening to the show for some months now. Thank you, Mark.
Go, Mark.
How can I get others to appreciate the need for full and communication also?
By being fully communicated at all times, because anybody that's fully communicated at all times gets more done easier, has a better life, has more fun getting more things done, and people won't look at you like, how does he do that? So it's all about teaching in who you're being.
Very clever.
Okay? I mean, it's really cool. Now, effective communication is as much about what you say as it is about who you're being when you say it. One of the things I needed help on in dealing with the growing up of my kids is I have what's known as surgical eyeballs. I'm also a very big guy, and I have a very loud voice, and I also have an opinion or two that I forcefully sometimes, shall we say, overmodulate onto other people. How about that? That was good, right?
It was very good.
And so I was, oh my God. Okay, I tell you what, when I come back, I'll tell you about that story. I actually do have to go on a break now. So you're listening to Clay Nelson Light Balance Hour. You're listening to KZSB AM 1290, and we're communicating here. Get on back.